care whether you're a native or a non-native speaker of English. All they want is people who can teach and speak the language.
My name is Upendanice Barasa. I moved to Japan to teach English from Kenya. If you're interested, subscribe. You don't want to miss it. Come on, join the bandwagon.
Hi, my name is Upendanice Barasa. In case you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, like this video if you end up enjoying it. Follow me on Instagram at opendo_nice. My email is always on the description box in case you want to reach me or contact me. I'm from Kenya and I've been here for 1 year, and this is one of the biggest questions I had before applying to teaching jobs in Japan. Before I graduated uni, I always knew that I don't want to teach English in Kenya. And even though I'm a graduate of education, I majored in English literature specifically. I knew deep down in my heart that Kenya is not the place I want to teach long term. And I started looking into teaching English abroad. I came across countries like China, South Korea, Thailand, all these Asian countries, even the Arab countries like Dubai, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar. Yeah, and one of the biggest things when you look at the job postings was, oh, native speakers, be a native speaker. And in the motherland, being Africa, the only country that was recognized as a native English speaking country was South Africa. Kenya was not on the list. I did a lot of digging and I found countries like Hong Kong. Hong Kong does accept non-native speakers, and I tried my luck applying to teaching positions in Hong Kong. I was successful to some point, but because of COVID, I couldn't go. And I just gave up on the way as well, because at that point, my passport was not yet ready. You see why, guys, I told you in my old videos, the requirements, never apply for these jobs if you don't have a passport yet. So that was one of the deal breakers, and also COVID being a culprit. I couldn't go, but I did a couple of interviews for teaching opportunities in Hong Kong. So if you're not successful with Japan, you can try Hong Kong. There's a lot of information online, and probably you might be successful. So during that season, I tried looking up countries. In fact, I gave up because I was like, if China and South Korea cannot take me to teach English, why would Japan? You know, because Japan is one of those countries like very advanced technologically and all these things. You assume that the standards might be pretty high, but I was wrong. I just didn't know where to apply, and this is the biggest problem. I got during my research, I got a company called Explore Asia. Whether it's a site or website, I think they're recruiters. And I tried applying for Japan, but they sent me an email saying, oh, to teach English in Japan, you must be a native speaker and you must have a driver's license, and you don't drive, so you're not eligible. And to be honest, I just gave up because I was like, yeah, probably they're right. Wrong. I came across a Kenyan YouTuber who taught English in Japan. And I was like, wait a minute. She speaks like me. She's from where I'm from. But she got the job, which means I can too. And I realized at the end of the day that it's not about the country, it's about how you apply and where you apply to. Because the challenge was, I sent an email to people who don't really specialize or don't really recruit teachers to teach English in Japan. I just didn't know the right channels to follow. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to give you all the information. In case you're wondering where can you apply, what is the right path, I do have a video on where and how to apply for teaching opportunities in Japan. Be sure to watch it if you can. Now, why does Japan take non-native speakers, you might ask? Because Japan does have a standard for almost everything. They have a structure for almost everything that they do. Trust me. All the schools in Japan look the same. They're built the same. Literally, if you came across two different schools and you are blindfolded and walked into one school and taken to another and asked, do you think this is the same school or they're two different schools? You probably might not tell the difference because everything is so structured. The schools look the same regardless of any, like the structures are just the same. They just look like one school, and that's how planned and detailed Japan as a country is, which means they don't care whether you're a native or non-native speaker as well. Are you able to speak the language? Yes. Do you have a neutral accent? Yes. Do you have a bachelor's degree in any field? Yes. That's all they care about. Why? Because once you get into the country, you will receive training. We know we see videos about ESL teaching in China, South Korea, the UAE, Kuwait, blah, blah, blah. And probably the standards are higher because maybe they follow a particular curriculum like British, American, and yes, we do have schools, international schools in Japan that follow that kind of curriculum, and maybe they might want a native speaker. Not the case from what I've seen, but just a maybe. But when it comes to just teaching English in Japan, you are not the main teacher. So Japan doesn't necessarily want you to be a native speaker. Just be able to speak the language. That's all. You receive training on the job. You will get into Japan. The first week, it will be a week full of training, how to teach, what to teach, how to dress, how to talk to students, how to do A, B, and C, what textbooks will you use, and so they really don't need you to understand or be a native speaking person as long as you can speak the language in itself, and they will do the heavy lifting for you. They will train you on how to do the job. And this doesn't just apply to like teachers in Japan, but I've noticed in almost every field we have very many Japanese people who work in an automobile company, like let's say Suzuki. They're not engineers. They've never stepped in engineering school because Japan prides themselves in training you and teaching you on the job. To be honest, there are so many people I meet who have never gone to school for the things that they do right now. They were just trained on the job, and I think that's just a belief system that Japan has, as a country has. Number two, why you are able to teach English as a non-native speaker is because you're not the main teacher. Your job as an ALT, if you remember, it stands for an assistant language teacher. It means you're basically a teacher number two. You assist somebody. There's somebody who is above you, who in most cases, in fact, in all cases, is a Japanese teacher. So the Japanese education system has been structured in a way that the Japanese teacher is always above you, and they're trained to speak English. They might not be perfect, but at least for the sake of delivering the classes and the syllabus and the curriculum, they're well equipped to do that. So your work is just to bring in your expertise as an English teacher. You speak the language, you understand it better. Probably it's your first or second language. The Japanese teacher might not speak it very well. There are things that you might need to step in and assist. So they really don't require a native speaker because it's not really much, if I'm being honest. Teaching English to Japanese students, once you have the ability, even if you're intermediate, trust me, you can teach English in Japan. Just be able to speak it fluently. That's all they need. Number three, you don't need a TOEFL certificate. It could be a good addition to your CV or a resume, but 90% of the people I've met in Japan as English teachers don't even know what a TOEFL is. Some of them have never even heard of it. Yeah. I don't have one myself, but I do have a bachelor's degree in education. Maybe that counts, but it really doesn't because all my friends that I teach with did not study education. Some of them are doctors, some of them are marketers, some of them are lawyers, and none of them has a TOEFL. Trust me. Just be able to speak the language. That's all they need from you. So if you don't have a TOEFL yet, or it's still in progress, or you have never thought about it, or you think it's too stressful, just try your luck. A TOEFL is not a necessity. It could be a good addition, but it's not a necessity. For other countries, especially if you're a native speaker, like from the US, the UK, Australia, I think it does go a long way if you're applying to other countries other than Japan. But for Japan specifically, yeah, it's not a necessity. So if you really don't have time and you really need a job, just go ahead and apply and don't worry as much because you don't need it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're motivated to apply to teach English in Japan. If you do have any questions, my email is always in the description box. If you can't write me an email, my Instagram, Upendo Nice, or TikTok, Upendo Nice as well. See you again next time. Same place. Bye.